didn't know this, but I wasn't gonna stream tonight because that's sad. I was playing Apex Mobile, and you guys know this, but well, got some unfortunate news. Now, if you know me, I said I don't play Battle Royales. However, I did say I did make an exception. I like to play mobile games. Why? Because the skill's a bit lower, and I can absolutely pop off on mobile. Because that's where I fit. But sadly, Apex Mobile will be shutting down 4 p.m. Central Time Zone on May 1st, which means that you got 14 days. And here's where I really get mad at this. Even though I didn't spend money, they are not offering any refunds, which, wow. I'm not gonna lie, I don't really like playing the original Apex. But Apex Mobile was actually pretty fun. And I've deleted the app. I would play it. I don't want to waste my time. Just trying to fix a sinking ship. But it's gonna sink, and you're going to fail. And there's no use trying. That sucks, man. Sorry for that noise in the background. There's a leak of all my machines down here, and it needs to be dried up by the fan. So yeah, they decided they're sunsetting it. So when I saw my cut shut down, I found out I'm like, no, I'm getting off this ship, man. I'm not gonna keep on this. This is why I don't like. This is why I don't like live service games as much anymore, man. Because at any second they can go and it goes offline. Like if the internet were to crash, Fortnite, COD, Warzone, and all that would go offline. But then you got games like Minecraft, Terraria, Astroneer that you could play offline. Please, developers, can we please get more games like Astroneer or Minecraft or Terraria where you can go online, but you don't have to have it on to play. Now half the games these days focus around internet. Terraria's negative reviews. That way you don't have, you know. What's this?
Terraria, despite starting its life as a
Terraria,
indie game in 2011.
Terraria has a very rare 10 out of 10 rating on Steam. If I'm not wrong, or like 9.9 out of 10. And the other game I know that has that is Portal 2. 10 out of 10 for games is extremely rare. And it's got more than 90% on Google Play. Just like Astroneer and Stranger Things. Those three things have very good reviews.
It's actually in the top 10 best-selling games of all time. Always. So close. Well, it's the 10th best-selling game in our hearts, at least. But of course, not everyone's a fan of everything. There's bound to be people who aren't a fan of the game. So I thought maybe reading the negative reviews would be a fun idea. Wait, look, here comes one now. Rolling Cactus. Well, I don't... What's so bad about the... Jungle Bats. They're not so bad, right? Jungle Spike Slime. Boulder. Moss Hornet. I hate Water Flush. I hate the Water Flush. I hate the Water Flush. I hate the Water Flush. I hate the... Angle. Okay, well, he's not an enemy. He's just like a bit of an asshole. Turns out, the game can be difficult for some people. The game really doesn't like to hold your hand, so you can find yourself dying repeatedly at all stages of the game when you're a new player. But when you become a veteran of the game and you've played for hundreds, if not thousands of hours, you'll often end up finding the game far too easy. In fact, there's a couple negative reviews that say just that, and they don't put it very politely either. This game is piss easy, even on expert. If you're not a child and have any game experience at all, you'll breeze through most of it. This is a terrible assessment of the game's difficulty, because any game experience at all doesn't necessarily help you if all of your experience is, say, in first-person shooters, doesn't. Being new to any game, no matter what that game is, makes your first playthrough harder than it would be for the experienced player. And a review
Exactly.
of 1,000 hours in the game tells you it's too easy.
You'd be astonished of how different my first Astroneer playthrough was.
On whether you should buy the game or not. No shit, they don't think it's hard. But this review is actually really, really long. They go on to say a whole bunch of other stuff as well. The game is, by nature of its premise, a very look-it-up-yourself game. The game doesn't really hold your hand on stuff. There are not many ways in-game to know what you're meant to do next. But this is by design. The game wants you to figure things out for yourself, and realistically speaking, this is the exact same thing that other games in the sandbox genre also do. They make you discover things for yourself. That's part of the fun of this type of game. There are a handful of in-game ways to perhaps figure out what you should be doing next. Is the guide. The guide can give you these vague clues about what you should do next, but it also lets you learn stuff about craft. If you give the guide an item, let's say a block of wood, the guide will show you every single item that can be crafted using wood, and exactly how to craft it. So as useful as the wiki might be, the game without the use of the wiki at all. It might be harder, but it's certainly doable. The game is long. It's not a concise game. To me, this is a good thing. A game that costs $10 on Steam that can give you potentially hundreds of hours of playtime in your first run. That sounds like a win to me. And it's meaningful playtime too. None of that Valve type shit where everything's padded for runtime because it's in early access and they want their game to be long and it takes 8 hours to even travel from one place to another, let alone actually craft items. I mean actual meaningful and engaging progress the entire time, for hundreds of hours. I guess if you're extremely busy, this could be a turn-off. But in terms of value for money, this surely just makes Terraria a no-brainer to buy. This is a grindy game. Well, yeah, kind of. It's a sandbox RPG, so it will of course be grindy to a degree. There's no avoiding it. But compared to some other games I could mention, Terraria's grind is really not that bad. There is a lot of grind, I'll give you that, but the grind is ever-changing and constantly uses the most engaging parts of the game's mechanics. Instead of just mining over and over and over again to get every single material in the game, Terraria's grind consists of mining, exploring for chests, fighting bosses, fighting enemies, and crafting items from unique drops. All of the most interesting facets of Terraria's core gameplay are all interweaved into the grind to make sure that it doesn't get too stale or repetitive. Like, if you're not a fan of mining, there's a whole bunch of other things you could be doing at the same point of progression that don't require any mining at all. Another thing certainly worth mentioning is Terraria's huge modding scene. T-Mod Loader is free to download on Steam and it's very easy to use, which gets rid of that barrier to entry that a lot of other games mods have. And even just the quality of live stuff can remedy some of the more obnoxious things about the base game. Playing the vanilla game with just magical storage on its own is incredible. You can just drop all of your items into your storage and then search for them manually when you want to get them out, instead of having to sift through dozens of unorganized chests to find the one item you may or may not have remembered to keep. One thing that is worth noting is that Terraria is certainly better with friends. I played the game on my own a bunch of times, and I loved it, but playing it with
Oh my
friends
god,
is
friends.
definitely an improvement to this.
My god, I had like a four-player world, and we built this house. Like, I built it, and then all the sections I built, they start to morph into like the themes of my friends. Every part of the house looked different. It was so cool, because then everybody started contributing to it and expanding. That was one of the most fun things I've ever had, and I hope I can just get more friends like that. I hope.
Stop checking bad reviews and play it, lol. Awesome. It's good to know that these types of reviews are a universal experience that all good games review sections have to face. Pantera fisted me so hard, I actually can't read that YouTube channel. So, Terraria is mostly about combat. Of course, there's plenty of exploring to get materials in the depths of the earth and all that, but in the end, chances are that the goal is to have that crafted or weapon or item to help fight enemies. There are aspects like house building and decorating said houses, but this game feels a lot less about creating things than, say, Minecraft. You also
What?
mentions that everyone compares the two games even though they're nothing alike. This is actually a very good point that I honestly never even considered, and it's 100% true. The game is very combat oriented. The creative side of the game is certainly there, and there are people who make some crazy stuff in Terraria, but the game doesn't really incentivize it as much as Minecraft. And perhaps that is because the game's two-dimensional, which limits your creativity to a degree. You're missing an entire dimension to build stuff in. The game definitely does pride itself much more on its boss fights and enemy variety than anything else. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. The combat in Terraria is actually really good, and it's not like there isn't cool stuff you can do outside of that combat. In fact, a lot of Terraria's creativity comes from the wiring system. It's a little bit like Minecraft's Redstone, and it can be used to do a bunch of crazy stuff like making event farms and boss insta-kill traps and stuff like that. Like these traps created by Mappy, he created some sort of mechanism to instantly kill in one tick every single boss in the entire game. But Terraria also has lots of cool exploration. There's loot that can be found or mined that has absolutely nothing to do with killing enemies. And the random generation of the worlds makes it feel slightly different every single time you do it. There's also quests that can be done for the angler, although we try not to talk about those. There's even golf. It appears our first contestant, H2, is stepping up to the tee. Oh, he completely missed his first swing. That's an impressive feat. He seems to be getting an eye for the controls here, Jeff. Looks like he's never actually played golf in Terraria in his entire fucking life. Oh, look at that. Straight into the water. Clearly no idea what he's doing. H2's clearly not on form today. It's a wonder that he even got into this competition at all. 2 hours later. He finally got the ball onto the green. Oh, and he lost the ball barely 2 meters in front of him. Seems like he's going for a world record for the worst score in golf in history. Finally gets the ball into the hole. That's the worst square golf I've ever seen in my entire career. If I were him, I'd be ashamed of myself. I don't know how he can look his wife and children in the eye when he comes home from work every day. Bad game, not good. Thank you, Man Salad. I really appreciate it.
Man Salad.
After 9 years, creating a family that you can play any way you want, the league. This review is a little bit old by now, and it's referring to a now reworked mechanic called Torch Luck. You might think I'm going to make fun of this review for being dumb or something, like I usually do, but no, this guy is 100% correct. Torch Luck, in its original form, was incredibly stupid. In Terraria, there are torches. You use them to light up dark areas, but there are also
Torch God.
torches that are slightly harder to find, that aesthetically fit in with certain jungle torches, or desert torches, or crimson torches. Torch luck is a mechanic that gives you increased luck stats if you use the correct torch in the correct biome. Luck is a hidden stat that gives you better chances at getting items from enemies, not having
What?
and getting better loot from fishing and stuff like that. But when the mechanic was first introduced, using the wrong torch can actually reduce your luck stat by a very large amount, and you can actually have negative luck. This was incredibly stupid for a variety of different reasons. For a start, there's no mention anywhere in the entire game that torches have any influence on luck. In fact, luck itself is a hidden stat that's barely
I've never even heard of luck.
in the game whatsoever. And just an aesthetic difference that bothered the devs for some reason was enough to lower your drop chances by almost 15%. After everyone lost their minds at this change, the devs did rework the mechanic. But even in its current state, the mechanic is still relatively stupid because it's barely mentioned in the actual game whatsoever. But yeah, it just goes to show that an otherwise great game with an otherwise great dev can still make really, really dumb and unintuitive decisions sometimes. Okay, last one. Yo, what the fuck? I got this scribble on.
Ten stupid item names. Item ever name. Items ever- Turn the video over. No. Stop.
Inventions help us live more comfortable, safer, easier lives. But there are also inventions out there on the other side of that scale. Inventions so astronomically pointless or disastrous that it boggles the mind how someone could waste money on them. Items that just make you think,
NFTs.
why? Why would anyone want
I don't care what you tell me. You're not going to convince me NFTs are not a scam.
check out the 10 stupidest items ever made? And in case anyone
You could buy a car. You could buy a
just
gun.
a reminder,
You could buy a video game. You could buy gold. You could buy coins. Why would you buy a picture? And not like painting? Yeah, go ahead. Buy a painting. An NFT. Just stop. Please. Just
I'm criticizing these items, and certainly not you as a person. Don't let me stop your creative flow. We're all just here to have some fun talking about some silly inventions. And just a heads up, I'm opening a small membership.
shake weight. Shake weight. Shake weight is the worst invention.
I guess it beats the cabbage club.
But if it isn't, don't worry. Everyone. Badges and more casual videos for whoever would like to join.
Dude,
Anyway,
shake weights are a joke.
number 10.
Diet
Diet water.
water.
Diet water.
What makes diet water?
Jules, and just think to yourself,
If the water flow down the pipes more, it moves more, so it's on a diet. I don't know.
Well, you're not the sharpest tool in the shed, are you?
If you don't want me to steal your Pepsi, just buy a diet Pepsi. I don't drink that.
Dietary
Gross.
decisions. Like a completely sugar-free diet, completely fat-free. Why do you need a gluten-free diet?
If you don't have gluten sensitivity and you don't have celiac disease, you don't need to be on a gluten-free diet. You don't need
0.9% of the population have celiac. Why would anyway? But this right here, this is a new level of stupid. Like, how does someone who buys this figure out how to?
Literally, water is made. It's a simple compound. You know, unlike foods that have a ton of carbons and hydrogens and stuff in it. Water is just two hydrogen atoms bonded to an oxygen atom. That's literally it. And atoms, that is made of atoms. Elements are atoms, it's the simplest known materials, which are made of electrons, which are made of quarks. And there's nothing that goes smaller than that. Very simple.
Supposedly, this drink was launched a few years ago, but I found an article in 2022 that I actually was trying to sell fitness junkies on this. So you might be asking, how is diet water different to water? That's a very valid question. This article claims that diet water contains a special type of peptide bond that targets fat cells via the bloodstream. Do you have any clinical trials or empirical studies to validate this claim? No! The surprising part is, though, is that Sapporo diet water had quite the popularity trend for a while. This article asks the valid question, does it work? Luckily, they pointed out that diet water will only work if you also diet and exercise.
Doesn't that work with normal water?
Same results, just having regular tap water. Tap water? Jeebus forbid. Just because you pay 1,000 times more for bottled water than tap water, that doesn't mean it's any cleaner or healthier. Chances are companies are selling bottles because they can. However, there is a lack of presence for Sapporo diet water nowadays, so I'm hoping people wisened up and stop buying this. However, you're not going to believe this because I discovered a newer version of diet water. It is known as gluten-free diet water. This is just depressing.
That's not made of gluten. There's just water and it's hydrogen and oxygen.
Was $15 and was available as of me researching this video. So to whoever is actually buying these, maybe put your wallet away and turn on a tap. And what stupid item have we got for number 9? The Pet Petter. What does it do?
Poor cats being like,
Brilliant. Touch your pet.
yeah, touch those furry babies? No. Touch those fur babies? No. Yeah, that's just for poor people, man.
You know, that's the real.
Just don't touch the dogs.
Luckily, you don't have to pet your pet because this pet petter will depend for you. They even advertise this on the front of the box, like you're really proud of this to see. It literally says on the front of the box, never touch your pet again. Oh boy, I can just look at my pets. That's a relief. I feel so bad for anyone who bought this. Like, they must be a sadist who wants to give themselves no joy in life. They're willing to accept the misery of cleaning up the cat hair off their couch, but they refuse to let themselves actually pet a cat. No, that would be going too far. Ugh, who'd want to touch that filthy thing? You don't even know where it's been. Oh wait, yes you do. It's been in your house all day, because it's your freaking cat. What interesting is how the synopsis puts. Let's be honest, we don't always have the spare time to pet our pets due to the hectic routine. We have time to browse the internet and check our phone every 5 seconds, but we don't have time to pet our pets.
If you can't pet your pets, you may not have a good ability at owning pets.
How can we stop to actually use our hands on a pet? Travesty. The pet petter itself is a mobile arm with a soft spring like tip that can pick up to 85 pets per minute. Oh boy, the efficiency of being petted is probably greater. Do they think they more efficiently feel joy out?
Dude, if I try to introduce anything that's like moving solely
Pet the sensei.
from my from my cat, it'll probably be like, no, I don't care. Cats have this I don't care mentality, and they won't care long enough to even be pet by this thing. Neither my dog. If my dog sees anything that's inanimate and moving, she gets scared, like trash bags or biker helmets. She doesn't like that, so even if this was for like another pet, I don't think, you know, this would be from this work.
Of being stroked by a real human hand. Or, you know, you could be weird like me and just use your hands. I love the look of the creator of this pet petter because his face just kind of says it all. What does it do? We'll pet your dog. You invented a hand. Perfect pet petter. Even made a bumper sticker for the pet petter. One of the most hilarious and passive-aggressive statements I've ever heard. I love my pet. I just want to touch it. Who wants to advertise that? Touch is fundamental to humanity. I hope a day never comes in your heart where you want to get a pet petter. Something sadder than the image of someone having a pet petter and uses horrible mechanical arms. It's terrible. Time you spent doing this, probably your dog, and I'm gonna say
Wow.
and for number 8. No phone. I like the idea of this, the reason behind the no phone, and it does make people think of the over-reliance and use of the smartphone. But the execution itself is pretty stupid. And the sad part is the no phone could actually be really revolutionary. But right now, it's just a $10 piece of plastic that does nothing except it's shaped like a phone.
Brick.
Smartphones can be the source of us losing interest in everything happening around us. Because they're mini computers that can practically do anything we want them to do. But they can also help us get out of a sketchy place in the city, call the police, or guide us with a map out of being lost. And when we feel like garbage, they can let us call a friend. They keep us connected, and the no phone tosses us from that out, just throws us from one extreme to the other. It's like reverting to zero electricity because you think you play too much Minecraft. It's a big jump. Why not use a no phone to meet us somewhere in the middle, like the world? A phone designed for good mental health and minimal use. If we have a phone that just does the essentials again, we can instead put our phone down and start chatting with our friends.
No kidding. It's kind of sad. I can't talk to anybody because everybody's just stuck up into their phones. I'm actually kind of some of a social person. I like to talk with people. But everybody's all self-absorbed into TikTok, dude. It's like a freaking virus. You can't even talk to anybody. Can't even talk to my own dad sometimes.
And in case there are still a couple of features that you just simply cannot live without on Android, there are still some very good options for you as well. There do exist several Android phones that are geared towards minimalists, and one that I personally really find intriguing was something called the Jelly Phone by Unihertz. If you're looking for a smartphone that's still fully featured with Android, that won't distract you quite as much as a regular smartphone nowadays, this could also be a very good option for you.
And it's worth saying, even if I feel the no phone is a stupid idea, I think its creators value. And that is certainly not stupid. If you're interested in a more functional version of this phone, then check out the light phone. As Benedict recommended, the Jelly phone might be a good in-between option.
We believe that a downgrade of technology will ultimately lead to an upgrade for humanity.
And coming in at number 7, the Virtual Boy.
Oh my god, it's like a VR helmet, but it's bad.
Giant headrest that strains your neck and streams red lights into your eyes. With the breakthrough technology of monochrome, the Virtual Boy can give you any color you want, just so long as it's red. The Virtual Boy is an astonishing anomaly in that everything it did wrong and badly. It was very ambitious of Nintendo to attempt 3D, but you actually have to have 3D in your game to be considered 3D. When they say 3D, they mean these garish monochrome black and red games that give you a headache. I'm serious, the Virtual Boy has a warning that playing too long can give you a headache, which is always good.
By the time I had finished this first game, I could already feel my eyes straining to focus on red black displays.
In fact, the Virtual Boy was such a disaster that only 22 games were made, and the only one with a good reputation was Virtual Boy Warrior, the greatest tragedy for Wario and the Virtual Boy. This is exactly what you get here. Supposedly, the Virtual Boy was intended to be a system, but how the cheapest are you going to play this? How are you even meant to carry as good as that? So to establish it's not horrible at all, is it at least comfortable? Well, you have to stick your head in what looks like a neck brace and push against the eyepiece that kinda sorta lets you see the red and black display. Even the nerd tried literally taping it to his head, and he still couldn't comfortably play it.
This must be one of the worst designs for any invention in history.
And believe it or not, this was made 4 years after Super Nintendo, so there's certainly no technological excuse for this. So how things go so disastrously with issues? Development went on for 4 years, and focused around Nintendo using a stereoscopic LED eyepiece technology. Nintendo was so set on making the Virtual Boy a household name, they built an entire factory in China specifically for making Virtual Boys. But over the years, the technology was downscaled due to the cost just getting too high.
Virtual Boy is so advanced it can be viewed on conventional TV or LCD screens.
Plus, there were health concerns about their Virtual Boy's stereoscopic technology. Well, that's not good. They had to downscale their console because it was getting too dangerous. Apparently, Apparently another big issue was Nintendo's lead game designer, Shigeru Miyamoto, had little to no involvement with the Virtual Boy's software. But do you really need the help of Shigeru Miyamoto to realize that Virtual Boy is a stupid idea? Either way, the Virtual Boy was put on the market in an unfinished state because Nintendo wanted to focus their attention on Nintendo 64. And if you happened to buy a Virtual Boy, I guess Nintendo thought that was just your problem. Sorry, no refunds. But I guess the good news of it was Nintendo instead focused their attention on the Nintendo 64. And that
Which became a really good, a popular console.
changed the gaming landscape forever. But the Virtual Boy was such an astounding failure that they pulled it from shelves after less than a year. Why has virtual reality taken so many years to change? The terrible design and failure of the Virtual Boy may be one of the primary reasons. What consumer will want to touch virtual reality after the disaster that was Virtual Boy? I have met fans of the craziest gaming systems, but I have never met a fan of the Virtual Boy. If you are, I would be fascinated to know in the comments what it is you liked about it. And for number 6, the ABCN Jetpot. A flying car? Sure, that's a great idea. A flying car that crashes on its first flight and kills its inventor? Well, that's a tragically stupid idea right there. I should mention, this means no ill will of the Jetpot's inventor, Michael. I don't mean to say he was stupid at all. Quite the contrary. He was no doubt a brilliant inventor, and he dedicated years of his life to this invention. This is a stupid invention, specifically sensible by its own creator, and my deepest respects go to him and his family. In fact, the Jetpot could have been the revolution we needed to create flying taxis. Over the decades, there have been many attempts at creating flying cars. There was also the Ave Mesa, or the Dymaxion flying car. But part of what made the Jetpot promising was it could take off within 125 meters. It was apparently going to reach 150 kilometers an hour, and it was apparently going to do all this while being whisper quiet. It could basically function like a flying car. In fact, they gave the Jetpod a label.
The Jetpod is a very quiet, short takeoff landing aircraft. What we have said Storm short.
You named it Storm. The VQ Storm. I'm sure the intention of that name was really good, but that is a really unfortunate name. So basically, the Jetpod did take the skies. But tragically, its creator Michael decided to test drive it rather than control it remotely. Michael wanted the Jetpod to be a revolution in aviation that changed the way we commuted forever. But sadly, the Jetpod lost both its reputation and its founder in a single test flight. Michael tried to take it, but 3 times it failed. They said at the starting of the plane that those 3 failures means nothing.
Oh my god, that looks atrocious.
This is one of those special.
Girl, I would not want to have this on my car.
Surely automobiles are fine with eyelashes. Apparently, eyelashes fit right over the headlights. They come in sparkly, chrome, ombre, and iridescent. They're actually surprisingly easy to get a hold of with all the online stores that sell them. I mean, really, there's giving your car personality. Just like my individual, I'll be reminded that didn't cause safety concerns. But these are just eyesores up with the headlights.
Smiling at you. Your car's eyelashes?
I'd be more concerned if someone didn't notice the giant creepy eyelashes. Now,
Or please, my car is superior to everybody else's. Why? Because I have amber turn signals. Just joking. Car companies, can you please use amber turn signals? And stop making stupid turn signals. I swear to God. Like this guy was turning. I didn't even realize he was turning. I was like 100 foot behind him. 100 feet behind him. God darn it, what's holding it up?
Personality in the toilet cubicle for all I care. But just while we're driving, couldn't we try and keep the driver's eyes on the road so we can, you know, not crash? I feel like if I saw these creepy things barreling down the road, the rest of the time they're shit. People turning around and driving in the other direction as quickly as possible. Apparently the goal of our lashes is to create the illusion of flirty eyes. I guess that's not easy in concepts, but in execution, I feel like there are legitimate dangers of impeding headlights and scaring the bejeebus out of drivers.
Even if you're looking at car lashes and saying, oh my goodness, this product is ridiculous. Why does it exist? I don't get it.
Huh, that's funny. That was exactly what I was saying. I guess she showed me.
It makes them smile. And when they're having a bad day, they know that they have a car lash.
Man, if I saw these on my car after I had a bad day, I think I'd go into questioning over the maddening terror that my life has become. I review SpongeBob for a living, and now I've reached the point where I have eyelashes on my car. I think I need to talk to a therapist. And for our fourth, significantly stupid item, the potty button.
Oh God, this is atrocious. The worst one is, potty packs.
To the greatest taboo in all of science. Poop.
There's a thing called potty packs where you literally pee into a golf iron.
But I will of course keep it in as good taste as possible.
And then you, like, dude,
Doing your business.
there's one thing I don't like to do when I pee, is store it. Because it smells and you have to pour it out. It's disgusting. Just use the bathroom, man.
While you're there,
Or
you can wish
use the
for
world.
something
Because
else.
the world is your
You
bathroom.
could read a magazine, read a book, play your 3DS, or Jeebus forbid, not do anything for a moment and actually just collect your thoughts. Frankly, doing just about anything else on the can seems like a better idea than this thing.
Releasing the Toilet Time golf game that lets you practice your putting on the potty.
Say hello to toilet golf, because apparently now we have to make even depositing on the john a tedious, frustrating experience. Nowadays, I feel like delivering our daily bacteria to the latrine is one of the few times we do stop to think. So if you go to Taco Bell, you spend a lot of time thinking. Anyway, if you're one of the 0.0001% of people who actually find golf interesting, and you're one of the 0.0001% of people who enjoy the idea of golfing while visiting the outhouse, then congratulations, you are a universal anomaly on the scale of the Big Bang. And someone made a weird toilet activity for you. Even then, I think most golfers are experienced enough that this short dumper course would probably bore them to tears. And if you have longer legs like me, chances are your legs will get in the way of your shot anyway. And even then, unless true disaster has struck, I think most people only spend a few minutes on the toilet. Is that really enough time for a decent game of golf? I don't know. I don't
You should get your practice in if you go to Taco Bell or like.
Though in all seriousness, if you actually did have one of these, or one of your friends did, and they actually did putt while squatting, I would be really curious to know. And for our third puzzlingly stupid item, Pizza Hut de Perfio.
What?
Moncherie, or the Pizza Hut.
Aha! Bon Jovi.
As Kenny Puker pointed out, there are many reasons someone might want to wear some perfume. Maybe to add some flair to their attire. Maybe to inspire a little interest. But how many married couples have honestly said, I remember the day we first met. I knew they were the one when I realized they smelled like a greasy pizza shop.
Yep, the good people of the think tank known as Pizza Hut Canada have come up with a limited edition run of Pizza Hut perfume.
Pizza Hut presented this little anomaly of existence in, no surprise, a pizza box. In fact, the Pizza Hut came in a red velvet coating. So what went so horribly wrong in our society that we now have a Pizza Hut cologne in existence? Well, Pizza Hut Canada asked on their Facebook page if people like the smell of a freshly opened pizza box. And, well, who doesn't? I mean, unless
Yeah, I like it.
Anyway,
But I wouldn't really want to put that on my body, bruh.
Pizza box. So Pizza Hut Canada translated this into meaning that society wants a Pizza Hut perfume. And lo and behold, we now both witness this tragic moment for humanity.
You're gonna walk around smelling like pizza for the rest of the day, you're okay with it?
Yeah, I know. It's not so bad.
Surely Pizza Hut can understand. Just because I like pizza and love my significant other, that doesn't necessarily mean I want her to smell like pizza. We both worked for Pizza Hut for many years, and tell me, honey, did you think washing pans for 8 hours and cooking pizzas left a desirable smell?
Honestly, the smell was horrible. I feel less safe having smelled it. Ugh.
And I swore off pizzas for 2 years afterwards. I can comfortably say, working in a Pizza Hut shop for 8 hours did not leave a desirable smell. In fact, after my shift, I generally felt slightly nauseous.
By the end of my shift, all I was
I can say working as a dishwasher.
cheese. But anyway,
Oh my god, the smell culminates. It's not really like ear, like nose destroying bad, but it just amalgamates to a smell. It's kind of disgusting. It makes you feel gross. But it's hard work, and it's hard work I have pride in.
Cognitive dissonance of not expecting something that smells foody and indeed physical and slightly unhygienic to come out of something that looks like a perfume bottle.
Apparently after it lingered on Katie for a while, it also smelled like dough and salty cheese, which just sounds so lovely. At the end of the day, she found the smell interesting.
I love it. I think it's great. It's so weird.
So unless you want to smell like dough and old feet, it's probably not a useful perfume for any occasion. You know, I haven't met someone who wants to smell like these, but hey, it's a big world out there.
Come on.
No thanks.
How about I stuff your crust?
No, thank you.
And definitely for number 2, the
What? What?
People have to choose between buttercups, and they're here for just one.
the pet rock. Oh, come
The pet rock?
rock. Even the chia pet did something. Yeah, it was watching grass grow, but it was still something. You see, a man once set out with a goal. His goal was to make millions of dollars selling rocks. And the weirdest part of all, he succeeded. You see, pet rocks were originally developed by Gary Dahl in the 1970s. Originally, it started out more as a joke gift. But over time, the pet rock sales boomed. I
What?
get people's reasoning on this. You see, apparently a lot of people like the idea of a pet that didn't require any care at all. I mean, in that sense, the pet rock is all pluses. Pet Rocky doesn't require food, he doesn't make droppings, he doesn't bark at everyone who passes by the house, he doesn't leave fur all over your couch, he doesn't bite your finger, he doesn't scratch, he doesn't even mind. So technically, you can expect it to outlast you, me, everyone. You can even leave him your estate if you want. Please don't leave him off your estate. Now, you might be thinking, oh, well, it was the 70s. I mean, back then, they thought that bright pink and bright orange were trendy colors. I mean, who would honestly think that bright orange is a trendy color? It'd just be stupid. A moron, that's who. But anyway, the point is maybe it was just a 70s trend to get a pet rock. But I'm sorry to break this to you, as I know this isn't going to make you feel any better about society. In recent times, the pet rock has had a comeback and boomed in popularity. Maybe it's making a comeback as a joke gift. Maybe people just got so tired of agonizing over what to get their friends for Xmas, they just thought, screw it, I'll get them a rock. But couldn't you have just, I don't know, picked one up off the side of the road? You see, as of 2004, over 1.5 million pet rocks have been sold.
Oh my
at
God.
$4 apiece. This gave Gary a total profit of over $6 million.
That's bank you could live off the rest of your life with that much money.
Says that he made $6 million I'm certainly not recommending it, but if you want to buy a pet rock, they are still available on Amazon. But, you know, why not just pick up a rock off the side of the road and give that $4 to a charity instead? Hell's bells, give it to a homeless person, buy yourself a cup of tea. Anything but buying a rock. I'm sorry, you do what you want with your money. It's your money. These pet rocks may have made Gary a millionaire, but that doesn't mean I can't still call them a stupid invention. And then number one, we have an anomaly of an item I will never understand. Handerpants.
Handerpants?
The item reigns supreme in its sheer unadulterated
Low fuel.
pointlessness. Personally, I think that title goes to Handerpants. When you're wearing gloves, how can
Uh-oh.
you make your life even more needlessly complicated? Why put on some Handerpants under those gloves? Because apparently, they're fingerless gloves that feel almost
Oh, I should have said on. Oh my god, my hands are naked. I can't show that on stream. My hands are naked. Oh crap. Can't show that on stream.
Handerpants is meant to be.
They solve all kinds of problems,
This'll tell us what their point is.
like chafing, rending of the hands, or damage to the hands through constant rough contact with other objects.
I mean, isn't that what gloves are for? You know, chafing? I mean, have you ever got chafed gloves? No? Then the Handerpants are officially of no use to anyone.
And talk about sexy. You'll have to hold the ladies back after they get a glimpse of these tiny whiteys.
Oh my god.
If I saw someone wearing Handerpants, you know, I'd want to help them. You know, maybe encourage them to go into therapy, maybe rehab. There's hope. I feel like even Urkel could teach them about fashion sense.
No more chafing for these hands, and they look great.
And they look great. But once again, I'm pretty flabbergasted because they sold.
This is a
As of
tall
this video
freaking mountain.
You can still buy Handerpants on Amazon. In fact, there's now officially a hashtag Handerpants movement on Instagram with thousands of people participating. Well, I can't change what people decide to buy, but personally, I'm sticking with gloves. Well, I don't think we're going to top the stupidity of that, so let's
10 biggest smartphone failures.
Enterprise is ready when you are. With the peace of mind of our complete clean pledge, curbside.
Howdy. Let's chat smartphones. They've steadily risen to stardom for over 30 years now. For many people, they're a big part of their lives. And over those 30 years, there've been some pretty wild, silly phones. Some phones were bad ideas that just sunk like a brick in the market. And some phones just exploded, which is, you know, not brilliant for marketing. And it's my pleasure to discuss these smartphone disasters with you today. Let's check out the 10 biggest smartphone failures. No faffing about today, let's just begin. For number 10, we have the Samsung Galaxy Note 7. Battery disaster. Imagine this for a moment. You just got a brand new smartphone from the stores. You take it home, unbox it, and use it daily. Then, on one fateful day, your phone literally explodes while charging.
No, that's fun.
That might sound
Tactical nuke incoming.
but probably
It's all over.
possible if it's your smartphone. The Galaxy Note phone was once Samsung's flagship product. You don't see this thing as much anymore, but the Notes came with their own styles called the S Pen. And if not for one massive issue, the Galaxy Note 7 could have been one of the best specialist phones of 2016. But unfortunately, exploding phones is kind of a turning point for
I do like it when my
any phone.
I do like it when my phone identifies as a C4. That's pretty cool.
Phones were made. The people with a Note 7 were forbidden to go on planes. Got any contraband? Or serious, he's got a Galaxy Note 7. Get out. And eventually, Samsung had to recall millions of Note 7s. To this day, this is some of the worst PR Samsung has ever had. The Note 7 did sell well, so anything possible boxes. Apparently, this entire kaboom was caused by some materials being packed too tightly inside the batteries.
It causes heat.
The batteries to be very unstable and particularly combustible when charging. So, if someone was charging the Note 7, it could potentially bust into flames. Samsung was just trying to fit too large a battery into too small a space. Even since the recall, there are still some more recent reports of other Samsung phones having some fatal battery issues. I should point out that Samsung spent years after pointing out the rigorous testing they did to ensure this never happened to their batteries again. And battery swelling is not a unique phenomenon to Samsung phones. Other phones can do it too. So even if you have a Samsung there's always going to be those very few people who have a little too much money to spend. Some of those people won't necessarily buy a regular smartphone. They're in the market for a very special smartphone. Companies like Caviar take already expensive smartphones and somehow make them 10 times more expensive. How? By adorning their phones with gold, diamond, and sometimes a piece of the moon or something. Apparently, these types of phones are quite popular among those who can actually afford to buy them. And it seems Nokia has tried their hands in the luxury phone business too, under a brand they call Vertu. Vertu built completely custom smartphones. And by golly jeebus, these things are
too expensive.
valuable. They are handcrafted.
I don't really like the look of gold as much as I like the look of black, gray, and red.
18-karat gold, sapphire glass, alligator leather, and more diamonds. Oh shit, I'm sorry, this kind of excess makes me slightly nauseous. The Meta Vertu, for example, is worth 61,000 Australian dollars. Is anyone else feeling slightly revolted? I feel excessive when I buy groceries I might not use. I'd like people to see this $64,000 phone drop down the drain or something, and then see this revoltingly extravagant individual sit through the sewers trying to buy their 18-karat gold phone. But these hefty prices didn't only come from materials. It also came from unmatched top-notch hardware, and some apps that were very fitting for this kind of market. For example, Vertu came with the Concierge app, a real human being whom you can have a live chat with. And they do almost anything for you with a simple message. Need to buy an electronic gift or get a dinner reservation? But we're just a message away from this concierge. It's a very luxurious venture, but I guess that's the whole point of Vertu. But of course, Vertu was building these stupidly expensive phones for a very tiny market, and that was one of the problems. Obviously, pricing your phones at over $40,000 to $50,000, well, that limits out like 99% of your market. Massive cost of materials, and Vertu meticulously handcrafting each one of these phones. There just wasn't enough profits, and Vertu had to shut down. But as of very recently, in 2022, Vertu opened up again and started offering phones. So if you want to buy a $50,000 phone...
Yes, there it is. What?
Can I suggest you don't do much for social media?
Yeah, I don't either.
Enjoy the moment more with loved ones. And that was exactly what the Palm phone aimed to do. So let's backtrack. Imagine you see someone on a date, but they're not talking to their date. Instead, they're sitting across from them, meal in front of them, phone in hand. And they're talking on their phone to their friends about their dates. And their dates do the same thing. This might sound hyperbolic, but can you honestly tell me you haven't seen this before? But imagine there was a phone that just encouraged people to just talk to each other. Weird, huh? The Palm phone made the phone an afterthought. You could hold it in the palm of your hand and just take it with you on the go. The manufacturer described it as perfect for taking a break from your big phone. So yeah, it was a minimalist phone with basic functionality. The creators hoped that this minimalist design and smaller size meant people would spend less time with their head buried in their phones. But unfortunately, well, this just didn't happen in execution. The Palm phone still had Android on it, so it meant it still had access to all that addictive social media. So it's the same scenario as before, texting your friend while on a date and just squinting your eyes. It just kind of defeats the purpose. But what was it like to
My dog is a crackhead.
Well, let's just say it was a good thing that other smartphones didn't shrink in size this much, because while the smaller physical size was nice, there were many technical limitations as a result, such as less storage space, poorer camera quality, and just lower battery life. Not to mention the annoyance of having to squint your eyes on a tiny screen. As a result, the Palm phone failed to ever take off, and it was quickly discontinued, and the focus of the company instead shifted to making wireless earbuds, which, according to Amazon reviews, are really good. Great sound quality, comfortable ears, but they're not giving up. Instead, they focused on their strong points and succeeded. And for number
That's
7,
nice.
we have Energizer P18K.
The thick phone.
Doesn't sound like a dream. It's a smartphone made by a company that specializes in long-lasting batteries. And wouldn't you know it, Energizer gave us the craziest smartphone battery to date. You see, they basically just stacked 4 smartphones on top of each other. And from this, they built a smartphone that could last 50 days on a single charge. And if there's one thing smartphone buyers appreciate, it's a long-lasting battery. The P18K was supposed to finally bring an end to people searching for phone charging stations. As long as they charge within 50 days of this thing, they should be fine. Unfortunately, it is on this list, so you can imagine something went very wrong. Because as it turns out, there's a pretty good reason phone batteries are. You see, this phone was so incredibly huge and heavy that pocketing it was basically out of the question. You basically needed a separate bag just to carry the damn thing. So as long as the buyer doesn't mind carrying a complete separate backpack over their shoulder,
My God.
But I feel like at that point, the person will be asking what went wrong in their mind. But then, to make a bad situation worse, Energizer pulled a phenomenally stupid move. They started an Indiegogo campaign where they advertised the P18K, and they asked for charity from consumers to fund the production of their phone. They wanted to raise over $1 million for their phone. And the outcome? They made $11,000 and got 15 backers. Kind of missed the goal by a fair bit there, guys. You know, I could be wrong, but maybe Energizer, a corporation with a net worth of $2 billion, shouldn't be asking financially struggling consumers to fund their product. So, as you can probably guess, with a massive 15 backers, the Energizer P18K was cancelled. And Energizer got back to working on batteries. But again, on paper, smartphone sounded like a great idea. But in reality, the Energizer smartphone was a major bust. And, you know, someone could have also come along and made the entire phone redundant by telling people, why not just carry around a portable phone charger?
Yeah.
Literally buy one.
See this bad boy? This is a bar 5 amp battery. This thing can charge my iPad for 12 straight hours. I don't even need to use my iPad on when I'm driving. I don't even need to use my iPad for more than 3 hours. That 5 amper plus turbo, what's not a hypercharger, plus what's it called, plus a clip to charge it is about $100. It sounds a little expensive, but trust me, that battery is a really good battery. Or if you don't want to spend as much money, you can spend about $80 on a cheaper 3 amper battery.
For like less than $20. Red is actually very well known for their cameras. They're very popular with movie creators and nature. And thanks to standards, if you've ever been to the cinemas, there's a good chance you've actually Red cameras. So when they announced they were going to make their own smartphone, a lot of people got very excited. The Red idea was to take their first-class camera technology and shrink it down to smartphone size, all on a very futuristic looking device.
With the phone being made of most metal, these scalloped ridges on the side that actually helped with grip more than I anticipated.
And Red was going all around this phone. The phone was even going to feature a 3D holographic display. I would appreciate a company being ambitious, and in this case, maybe they should have been a bit more cautious. This was Red's very first attempt at making a smartphone, and thus, well, it had a mountain of software problems. The first problem was sadly the holographic display. While it was a big achievement in technology, it just didn't work out very well in execution. When Michael Fisher took a look at the iPhone 1, he described the holographics as disorienting. Overall, he didn't consider these holograms a pleasant experience. But these 3D effects don't show up in the menu of the phone or the camera. You can easily turn them off. What mattered most to their buyers was the camera mode. That was what fans were signing up for. And when you have a phone camera from a company that makes cinema-grade cameras, you probably expect it to be pretty decent. But when the Hydra one was released, it turned out the phone camera was actually pretty subpar compared to other phones at the time. Linus Tech Tips compared the Hydrogen One phone to the iPhone XS and the Galaxy Note 9. And the red was actually blurrier compared to the competition. It was still a good camera and the differences were minor, but still, compared to the competition, Red Hydrogen One just couldn't match them. And when the price is at least $1,300,
Pricey for a phone.
you want to offer a stellar class camera for that. When they're up against giant conglomerates like Google and Samsung, Red just couldn't afford to make mistakes. So when they botched up the software, many customers just didn't trust them to get it right. So very quickly, Red had to discontinue their
Yeah,
Hydrogen
that's
One phone.
a stinker.
They shrugged off their failure and got back to doing what they do best, making stellar class cameras for professional filmmakers. Good on you guys. And for number 5, we have the Nextbit Rocket. Cloud storage can be damn helpful for backing stuff up. If you ever need to store files safely, there's quite a few options out there for cloud storage, such as Google Drive, Echo, or Microsoft OneDrive. Nextbit Rocket was a bit like those cloud-based services, but it was a cloud-based phone. It didn't store much of anything on its built-in storage. Instead, it stored everything into their cloud storage. And I do mean absolutely everything. Your apps, your photos, your everything. AI here, as it means your phone doesn't need internal storage. However, as you might have guessed, there were several problems with this phone. For one thing, there was the build quality. Jerry-rigged everything tested the phone out, and they weren't too pleased with the quality. Oh dear. That is definitely a problem.
That's bad.
Plastic case, and absolutely. So it's not so much if it broke, but when it broke. People have this smartphones
I've had at least 20 times. And it's got a box light armor and it still survives. My phone probably at least 30 times in the past year.
So with dumpy software and impressively dumpy hardware, the Roman was soon discontinued entirely. But luckily, in the modern age, there are still some great options for easy cloud storage. And Xiaomi was certainly no exception to this. The Minix Fold was their answer to the Fold phone. But then there was the Minix Alpha. The algorithm when you pick the phone, display wraps around it. You use 2 workspaces on the one phone, one and one. That. And when content creators reached out to Xiaomi asking for a sample product, Xiaomi just outright refused to give out any. Not until months later anyway, and the product just kept getting pushed back and back. In fact, it was so delayed that the folding phone just completely eclipsed the launch of this phone. So when the phone was finally released, the public just didn't seem to care much about this wrapping display. And it's a shame, because I think the idea of a wrapping display is pretty amazing. However, for most people, switching from one window to the other on one display, well, that's enough. So many mainstream buyers, the idea of this wrapper on the screen was
Let's swim out your fingers activating that.
well. Because anything, at least anything. Microsoft is certainly strange for trying interesting ideas for their smartphones. But some of these ideas have failed pretty miserably, such as the Windows phone that had severe or the Surface Duo, which had a metric ton of software bugs. Then there's the Microsoft King, which is easily the worst-selling smartphones of all time. So what? It was presented in a pretty cylinder package. It did feel quite a lot different from the usual unboxing activities. Unfortunately, the fun was at the end. The open box, which is never a good thing. No app store. This
Uh-oh. Wow.
Shockingly abysmal.
I'm about to say that word, abysmal. Absolutely abysmal.
Plus, you know, it looks pretty, and that's nice. Number 2, we have the Samsung Galaxy Fold. The Galaxy Folds not to be confused with a flip phone.
I remember.
Phones. They were my personal favorite type of phone. They were so convenient and quite popular in the 2000s. And lucky me, they've recently had a resurgence in popularity. But the foldable...
I remember I was in my in my freshman year and I started hearing about these. I'm like it was like the Razor, the new Razor, and I remember that was hitting the rounds on social media, and that was kind of like the beginning of the folding phone movement. They are a lot of them, but a lot of them are flawed. Although I think that is a really good idea to have a folding phone.
A whole different ballgame. It started as this odd experiment from manufacturers. The idea being that you could literally fold your smartphones in half. Thanks to ultra-thin glass, this novelty became a reality. And soon, manufacturers and consumers alike were seeing the benefits of this design. So there we were, folding our phones in half. Much like the flip phone, this protected it from bumps and scratches. It also made it much easier to put in your pockets. I only miss that ease of pocketing compared to the oversized slabs we have today. But unfortunately, this didn't start out as amazing as you might think. You see, the Samsung Galaxy Fold was one of the first of its kind. As well as being a regular smartphone, once unfolded, it also turned into a tablet. This may seem like a cool idea, but this thing had major problems. People's excitement quickly turned to concern when these tablet phones began breaking in their hands.
Hey, it's your dry skin. Every day with you, Ceramide, I need to seal in moisture. CeraVe delivers through...
Oh dear.
Hey, how are you? Look at that. That's pretty cool, right?
So, why were these folding phones literally breaking in people's hands? Well, it was a problem in the design. The folding phone's screen protector was very thin, and the screen protector didn't just protect from scratches, it literally held the phone together. So if this protector peeled off, or any debris got under the film, the screen quickly broke and shattered, which is, you know, not ideal. People were up in arms. The aftermath of these shattering phones left people skeptical of this new design. However, Samsung quickly reformed the Fold and began working on a new design. And soon, a non-breaking Fold was released. And despite a hefty price tag of $2,000, this phone was, and still is, quite popular. And at number 1, we have when all LG smartphones were discontinued. 20 years making phones different. I miss LG phones. For this value, we first have to look way back into the
Does anybody even buy that many LG products anymore? I think I have an LG TV.
Where they discontinued all of their smartphones. They withdrew entirely from the smartphone market. Back in 2007, LG was just everywhere. With their ever-insistent LG marketing slogan. And perhaps especially the Prestige in 2007. I can't tell you how annoying this slogan was. I guess life was pretty good for them in 2007, because LG had an annual growth of $2.1 billion. And I guess they just had to remind us how good their lives were. Anyway, my business aside, it was in the 2000s to be a golden age for LG. It was a time when smartphones were very new, and they could take almost any shape of form. LG came up with some very cool designs, such as the very nice-looking chocolate phone or the Fusion phone. But alas, iPhone was just beginning its widely domination of the market, and LG had to make the transition to Android fast. LG phones were losing their appeal because Android phones and iPhones were just taking over the market. You could even call this the true beginning of the modern smartphone, the era where Android made phones easier for consumers, and iPhone made them trendier and more expensive.
iPhone 14 Pro still starts at $999.
But LG wanted to buck the trend with smartphones. And, well, you probably noticed a recurring theme in these smartphone failures. That theme being that many of these smartphones started with ambitious ideas that just ended up missing the mark. And for the longest time, LG had tons of cool ideas. Some of them still used today, like the ultra-wide camera, the ultra-wide camera opened up a whole new dimension for mobile photographers. While many other ideas failed, like the dual screen display or the curved display. But then we got perhaps their craziest idea of all, the swiveling phone. Under the name LG Wing, it had two screens on the phone. The main display could be swiveled to reveal another display that could be used in combination with the main display. I'm sure this could be useful to maybe someone out there, but to me anyway, it just seems overwhelming and confusing. Many of these novel LG ideas just couldn't keep the public's attention. There are many reasons for this. Apparently, LG's communication was pretty terrible. They just couldn't seem to convince people why they would want to have all these features on their phone. So when their phones would launch, some people would struggle to find a reason to buy them. Even keeping track of when their phones came out was a challenge. On the other hand, Apple was more than happy to let you know a million times over when one of their new iPhones would launch. Whether you like it or not, LG may have been creative and ambitious with their smartphones. Their communication is unstoppable. So, as of 2021, LG's completely shut down their smartphone division. But that being said, they left a huge impact on the smartphone market. And I still have some fun memories of LG smartphones to this day. So long, LG Gold. Thanks for the memories. Anyway, thank you for joining me through this journey of smartphone ups and downs. Mostly downs. If you think I missed a particularly
I'm gonna finish this another time.
feel free to let me know about it.
Thanks for watching.